So, no, I'm a little bit late on the late freight on Saturday. Kind of been putting the videos up late, so it is what it is. I get to it when I get to it. So, I don't know why this lady's sitting in the middle of the road. But Detroit Pistons clinched the playoff spot. I'm having another interesting video following this a couple hours later. But they clinched the playoff spot, man. I mean, great for them. To beat the Toronto Raptors. I think Brandon Ingram started he was supposed to start playing or whatever. He signed that contract extension. I think the league may have been on them for trying to tank for Cooper Flag. That's going to be interesting to see how that goes with him. Man, I just literally hate traveling on Saturdays, man. Just, you got the mix of old people and young people out. That's why I like to get out early, but I had other things to do. But so yeah, I know they kind of was tanking for that. So I don't know what's going on. So I think that'd be interesting to see where he goes. We all know the NBA draft is rigged, the lottery is rigged, but honestly. I don't have any disdain for the Toronto Raptors. I don't have any disdain for them, but they ain't really they tanking. I like Masai Ujiri and all that shit. I like him, but good for the Pistons. For the most part, they trending in the right direction. Playing some of their young guys. Ivy back suited up, doing some workouts. Shout out to Aiden Hutchinson. I seen him back running. So. I mean, obviously, it's a process. I don't know how many of y'all, really watched basketball back in the day, but, the going to work Pistons, they had a bunch of veterans. Chauncey, Rip, they had been around the league, especially Chauncey. Ben Wallace had bounced around the league. Who else we had? Tayshaun, he had spent 4 years in Kentucky, even though he was a rookie. So they was a veteran bunch. And they still had to go through the process of learning how to win. Whether it was getting out the first round with Orlando. And really our adversaries in the East, our adversary in the East was Jersey. Yep, the Jersey Knicks and Jason Kidd, they were, running through the East back-to-back NBA Finals. They were our adversary. That was a team that we had to beat to get over the hump. And that was a veteran bunch of guys. You know what I'm saying? So we got a bunch of young guys sprinkled in there with a few veterans. So y'all got to understand this playoff thing, it won't be easy. Going back to Isaiah Thomas and those guys, it wasn't easy. They had to get over the hump, learn how to win, learn how to, get over the whole battle they had with Bernard King and had to get through the Celtics. So it's a process. You don't go from zero to hero like that. Even in this era, it's a process. So y'all got to remember it. So they clinched the fifth speed. They avoid the play-in. I know the expectations last year and this year. Well, last year was, hopefully they make the play-in. This year, a lot of people didn't have much expectations for them. Even though Bernie Bickerstaff and Trajan Langdon was saying everything right and doing some things that we understood and some that we didn't. Came together, quite frankly. I mean, even when Monty got here, they looked a lot better than what they looked like with Dwayne Casey. But they pushed the right code on with JB Bickerstaff and Trajan Langdon. They had no ties from each other. They had no ties with each other. He just so happened to abruptly get fired by Cleveland. Trajan Langdon said, "Let me interview him." They seen things the same way, and I kind of say that to a lot of young brothers out here too. Y'all be beefing with each other, but if you really knew, y'all have a lot in common. Y'all have a lot in common. Y'all like the same things. Y'all share the same interests and hobbies and all that stuff. So, a stranger could be really your best friend. An enemy really could be your best friend. A lot of times y'all ain't beefing nothing but over nothing petty, a girl or some money. So yeah, or a stranger could be your best friend, like I said. So, but yeah, man, I they doing big things. They push the right buttons. I like them bringing in Schroeder. He fit right. He integrated right on in. Transition was great. They letting him get a lot of playing time and feel with the team. He's probably gonna be when they get into a problem. He's probably gonna be there. He's probably gonna be who they get a ball to make crucial decisions. So yeah, I mean, it was a team that I guess that I predicted went over 30 games. They shattered that prediction and broke NBA record by tripling a win total from the previous season. And now it's kind of playing with a target on their back. They get a prequel to next year. People know the Pistons ain't no pushover no more. So now you're going into this playoff with these last few games with a target on your back. Yeah, you're going with a target on your back. So people know we can't sleep on the Pistons. They for real. They physical. Now you starting to get a reputation, for being a hard physical basketball team. Like we talking about the Lions. And, people going to be prepared for that. So they going to get the taste of next year. Next year, people going to gun for you. But they got a hard working group of guys. They got guys that get along. You got guys who have playoff experience. So it should be a fun experience. So, but, they did it. They didn't let the losing destroy them. Let me say it again. They didn't let the losing destroy them. And that's one thing you can appreciate. They did not let losing destroy them. They did not let the losing destroy them. So when you look at it that way, they're a resilient bunch. So they already dealt with some things that they may deal with again, making this run. So yeah, it's always different when the Pistons are winning. I mean, we never really experienced the Lions winning like this in a long time. But when the Pistons win, it's totally different. And the Wings win, it's totally different. When the Tigers win, it's totally different. One of the reasons these things they end up being totally different. If you haven't noticed, one of the reasons they end up being totally different is because really the seasons too. A lot of the seasons, be cold, be hot, but they win in their own different ways. So look, they played a good brand of basketball. They was exciting. They was receptive and open to learning new things. And they succeeded. They succeeded. So I mean, shout out to them. Shout out to them because when you form that losing mentality, it's hard to shake it. It's hard to shake it. When you form that, when you be a loser and you known as losing the way they lost, look at Washington. They never shook that mentality. They never shook it. They never shook it. So sometimes it becomes you. And the Pistons didn't let it become them. That's one thing you gotta respect about it. They didn't say, they was open, okay, no hoods on, no whatever was going on. They didn't let the losing consume them. And that's what you gotta appreciate about it. So shout out to them, man. They brought a lot of joy to the city. Where the Lions left off at, they picked the baton up and kept running with it. So let me know what you girls and guys think. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance. Get notifications. We go live and drop video. Hit the link in the description. Find me everywhere. Peace.